Gary Gimble, everyone. In today's day and age, we're constantly calling out people. Celebrities whenever they hit someone with their car, or politicians when they sleep with anyone. But there's one person in this world that we choose not to call out for reasons I do not know. Old Saint Nick, or as I know him, Old Saint Dick. Santa Claus is one of the most evil bastards that we know as a society. Since his early days, he's been enslaving people and doing crimes unspeakable. I'm calling him out. I am willing to dare to bring this pillar of our society down. I'm bringing him down. Before I get into why he's evil, I have to go back to his roots. As many of you know, he's fucking old. Saint Nick started in the year 1400. At this time, he wasn't big or nothing. He'd go around to little boys and girls. He'd break into their houses, fill their socks up with toys and gifts, and leave. Now, whenever I do that, I'm considered a criminal. Oh, but I'm St. Nicholas. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, people, you really gonna let this man come into your house? I wouldn't. Well, his operations started to get too big for the old man. So he started needing help. By this point, population control was getting crazy. Before the Middle Ages, people were fucking like rabbits. People still fuck like rabbits. So he had to employ a little help. And this is where... Oh, shit. By this point, he needed a little help. So this is when he employed the elves. Many people don't know this. Elves don't live long. They only have a life expectancy of 3 years. So when he made the little contract to have workers, he didn't realize how quickly they would die. Since the elves couldn't live long, Santa Claus, he had to find alternative means of help. It's a little bit of a tangent, but it brings me onto the important part. 1863. Many of you know this year as 1863. But this year is more than just a number, because during this event, there was a little scuffle between a couple people. It was called the Civil War. And during the Civil War, they were fighting for a lot of things, like slaves, is what they were fighting for. Well, eventually, a little man, many of you know him well, he's the guy on the penny. I'm talking about my boy Abraham Lincoln, came along, and he ended the war, right? Now, what does all of this matter? Because Lincoln ended slavery. This is going to play a little important role in the next part, okay? Cut to another important year, 1942. Many of you know this as the year that we got France back. Many of you know this year as the year, I think Donald Trump was born. I'm pretty sure he was born here in 1942. 4 years before our great God King Donald was born. Why does this year matter? Well, it matters for a lot of reasons. Reasons I can't really get into at the moment. Many of you know it as something that rhymes with blur, bore, two. See, I teach people stuff. You gotta use your mind on my channel. A little company, should I say little? They basically invented the soda. Coca-Cola came along and was like, Santa, we know you make nothing. You make no money at all. And Santa was like, yeah, I'm getting a shitty end of this deal. I make billions of presents. I don't get jack shit. Well, they decided, you know what, Santa? Start working for us. We'll use your likeness and you'll get some money. Santa was like, hell yeah, I can get money. Now I can make more toys for little girls. Kids. It was at this point Santa was like, hell yeah, I can make money. I can make more toys for kids. So this is when he started partnering with Coca-Cola. You see him every year with a bottle in his hand. And I don't mean Jack Daniels. I forgot to mention that. Santa Claus is actually an alcoholic.
He's the founder of Jack and Coke?
Yeah. His middle name's Jack. Chris Jack Pringle. So by this point, now Santa's having to follow the rules of America. He can't just own people anymore, like the elves. He had a contract where he screwed them over with, where in the writing it said, "You'll work for me whenever people stop celebrating Christmas. Like you'll work until people stop celebrating Christmas. No one's going to celebrate Christmas next year." And cut to today, where everyone celebrates Christmas. So he had to fire them because he couldn't own them anymore. This is what he does now. He takes all the naughty little boys and girls and puts them in the coal mine. How do you think everyone gets coal this year? Little boys and girls are mining in those coal mines for you. And you still decide to be a badass kid. By this point, Santa, he's liking the money. And Mrs. Claus is too. But now Santa's getting greedy. This has been 40 years since then. Every year Coca-Cola's pimping him out. He doesn't have to pay for it. Listen, there's a lot of naughty kids in the world. He doesn't even feed them. He just picks them up.
Did Santa supply the Coke for the Coke?
Probably. Another really bad thing is I forgot to mention this. Prior to 1940, Santa Claus didn't have a naughty or nice list. It was mainly just like if you looked nice or naughty. Which led to this unfortunate event right here. He saw a little Austrian painter. It's like 1938. It's before he started doing anything. He thought he was just a paint. Actually, the funny thing is that thing right there. That's a paintbrush. He thought, he was still. Oh, you're like a painter. Why I do that? He thought he was a painter, so he's like, oh, I'll give him a paintbrush. Speaking of Coke, 1983 was a famous year for many reasons. I like how every year I start that. I'm happy we're on the subject of Coke because this next person loved it. I'm talking about my boy, the one, the only, the guy who had a monkey, Ronald Reagan. Now, if you don't know, Ronald Reagan was the devil incarnate, actually. He was selling crack and cocaine to the black communities to fund wars against people that were going against America's interests.
Were him and Santa in cahoots?
Yes, they were, cameraman. In fact, by this point, Santa was so big, he got invited to the Pentagon. Ronald Reagan was basically asking Santa, I'm not doing that for you. At this point, Santa Claus had a giant network that allowed him to, spy on everyone. To know who was naughty or nice. You really think he can just see you at all times? No. He has elves in people's yard. What do you think garden gnomes are, huh?
I thought our parents reported to Santa.
So that's what he wants you to think. No one's willingly sending letters to this guy. Look at him! The way he looks at that bottle, the way he looks at you. At this point, Ronald Reagan was asking Santa's help. We need to stop the commies, Santa. And liberals. And black people. Ronald Reagan hated black people. I need you to know that. And Santa Claus was like, I don't know about that last part, Ronald. Well, I hope you spy on American people for money. And, this is whenever he started being like Big Brother. Well, okay. Once he started teaming up with Reagan, he funded what was basically Santa Claus Big Brother. He basically started helping the U.S. to have surveillance on all its people, right? Which is bad. Cut to the modern day. Cut to today, 2025. Because now Santa Claus's big brother has gotten worse. He's teamed up with a couple bad individuals.
You think Santa gave Hitler magic?
I didn't process what you just asked me. Cut to 2025. Peter Thiel, or as I like to call him, Satan, is now a part of Santa Claus's big brother. Along with Jeffrey Bezos right here, or as I like to call him, asshole, they've now developed different ways to spy on people in order to know if they're naughty or nice, such as the Ring doorbell camera. See, how do you think Santa sees everyone? He looks through your Ring doorbell camera and finds out if you're naughty or nice. He spies on us. And so does the American government.
But don't Ring doorbells only face towards the front porch?
So they want you to think. And also, along with Palantir, they've started to kill any non-believer in Santa Claus. Santa Claus derives his power from us in belief, as every Christmas movie tells us. See, that's what they think. That's the thing. They tell us little bits about Santa Claus in every movie. Like Bad Santa, that's how we know he's an alcoholic. Elf, that's how we know he's an alcoholic. A Christmas Story, that's how we know he's an alcoholic. But he's starting to become too strong. I have eyewitness from a man on the inside that he's getting too strong. Roll the clip.
I used to be a former mercenary elf for Santa. I used to help take out the non-believers. And believe me, it was a monstrous job. Santa has grown too powerful, and at this point, nobody can stop him. With all the non-believers gone, Santa has ascended into something that's almost akin to godhood. I don't think even God could stop Santa now. Christmas is no longer Jesus' holiday. It's his birthday. Santa's taking it over.
And one of the worst things that Santa Claus has done, one of the most abhorrent, he lost his jolly belly. See, what many people don't know, the skinnier Santa is, the eviler, the more evil he is, right? He started getting skinny around the Reagan administration when he started getting self-conscious. And you want to know how he got skinny? Ozempic.
Magical Ozempic?
What the fuck are you on? Magical Ozempic? No, it's regular Ozempic. Shit. See, Ozempic is actually a reference to his his spying group. Ozempic stands for Organization Zeroing in on Enemies Manipulating People into Christmas, which basically means anyone that doesn't believe in Santa. In conclusion, we need to bring this sick bastard down. He can't take all of us. He won't stop us. Fight! Fight! Shit. They're here. Stop. Don't come to me. I know Krav Maga.
What have you been saying about Santa?
Fuck, get off me. They're trying to silence me. They're trying to touch me. They're trying to stop me. Ah!